Guys, welcome back to another video. As per request, today we're going to be going over the Grau values, or as Dr. Disrespect would say, the Grau values and the MP5. Now this comes at a perfect time, guys, right? Because what we have is we have a nerf on the Agency Suppressor with all the Cold War guns. So a lot of people are complaining about that. I'm still using some of the Cold War guns like the MAC-10 and the AUG. M16 maybe a little bit, but it's not quite as good as it used to be. So a lot of people are still searching for the right meta, and there's not really one right now. So a lot of people are still going back to the modern warfare guns. So with the Grau and the MP5, I'm going to show you the recoil patterns you would get without any settings, and then I'll show you what I'm using, my recoil patterns and what settings I'm using. Alright, so let's get into it. First for the Grau. Now this is without any game pack. This is without any settings, anti-recoil setup. As you can see, the recoil spread's pretty bad up and to the right. Same thing with the MP5 probably. Most of them do that, up and to the right. Up and to the right, alright? So I'm going to switch over to my game pack. And this is what a lot of people are having trouble with. I'm finding if you just get a Cronus, let me just mention this real quick. If you're having an issue where like it's not working, like nothing, no aim assist, the anti-recoil is not working, you have to switch to the corresponding slot that you save your settings as, right, in Zen Studio. So say like I have this set up on slot 4 for the Call of Duty Warzone Pro Pack. So you're going to have to hit the right button on the Zen to get over to that slot 4. And then it'll say COD Warzone, and then underneath whatever your primary weapon is, and then when you switch, it's going to show you your secondary weapon. And it'll light up if you have PS4 light bar enabled on the weapon swap. Like whenever you have your primary out as the Grau, it'll say Grau, and it'll also have a green LED, and then when you switch to your secondary, it'll have a red LED. So I just kind of wanted to mention that, and I might show you a little bit more about that when we get into the settings. Just make sure you're switching over to that corresponding game pack. You do have to switch it. If you get the alien head, the gear head, just know that you're not actually, you don't have any settings set up. You're just using your controller normally, so you do have to switch to that game pack. Alright, so I'm going to show you the recoil spread for the Grau. That's pretty good, pretty tight spread. As you can see, a huge difference, right? Look at that versus that. That's what you want. You want that tight spread, especially when the aim assist. Now, this is without aim assist, too. So, when the aim assist kicks in, you're going to, get even a tighter spread. Now, this is with the MP5. As you can see, a very tight spread as well, okay? So, let's switch over to Zen Studio, kind of show you the settings I have and what I've found. And then, we'll go from there. Alright guys, as you can see, we're in Zen Studio now. We're going to open up the Call of Duty Pro Pack. This is what I'm still using. I haven't found like a script or a game pack that I've liked more than the Pro Pack. So I'm still using it for now. Of course, these things change daily almost, so we'll kind of get into those as they come along. So for the settings I have, of course, match all this to your in-game settings. Yours are going to be a little bit different from what I have. All right, default is what I play on for the layout. 7.7 sensitivity. Dead zone is 0.06 in the game, so I have it at 6 in the Zen Studio. Global mods, I still use turbo melee and slide cancel. Rapid fire, I don't really care about that, or the hair triggers, anything like that. Maybe we'll do a video on those in the future. Now, still make sure you guys have, especially those on PS4 and Xbox, make sure you have the ADS anti-recoil quick edit on, so that way you can edit this in the game. And this is by, ADSing. You start shooting as you're ADSing. You hold down the ADS button, start shooting, hold down on the D-pad, and then you can go up and down with the LB and the RB, as you're holding down on the D-pad. This is very important. I've mentioned this in previous videos. Especially those on PS4, because what happens is, like for me, I'm a PC, right? So all I have to do is just open up Zen Studio while I'm in the game, and then I can actually adjust it and then go back into the game. I can adjust the values in Zen Studio. All right, and this is what I was talking about. Make sure you have this on This kind of helps you out. So like whenever you have your primary out, make sure it's lit up green on the Cronus, and then it'll go to red when you have your secondary out. And sometimes this gets switched for some reason. I'll tell you what it is. Like, say if you're in the plane and you hit Y just for the heck of it, or triangle, basically it's going to think that you're switching to your secondary weapon. So sometimes when you land on the ground or you first get your loadout, it'll think that you have your secondary first. And then sometimes this is what people complain, like, oh, I'm not getting the right, recoil values, or it'll just go like wonky. This is probably your issue. So what you need to do is make sure when you have your primary, the Zen is lit up green, and that the secondary, when it is out, it is lit up red. And all you have to do to change that is hold down the view button on the PlayStation and triangle at the same time, and then it'll switch over to the right corresponding profile for that gun. And then, like I said, so it's green for primary, red for secondary. Alright guys, so let's get into the values now. Alright, so for the Grau, what I've found, and like I said, I'm going to show you my attachments, but what I've found for the Grau, the best anti-recoil value is anywhere between 67 to 70. I roll with a 67 for now. Some people, like I said, you can go up or down 1 or 2 just to see, depending on what attachments you use. But that's what I found that's best for me. I still use the aim assist mod. Sometimes I'll turn it off, just depending on, it's just a personal preference. But 13 I've found is the best aim intensity to give you that, little bit more snappier aim. Some people like it a little higher, some people like it a little lower. Alright guys, so for the secondary, for the MP5, we're back to a 94. I found on most SMGs you want to kind of leave it anywhere between 92 to 98. That's just, for some reason, that's kind of what works best. And I found 94 is kind of that sweet spot for the MP5. And I still use aim assist mod on that to get that snappier aim. And then, of course, all these other settings I haven't really changed with. I don't use any of the primary loadout settings. That kind of just gets too much, setting up. It gets confusing. So we kind of just leave that the way it is. And then, like I said, what I'll do is I'll set up a pro pack for each class that I want to use. So, like right here, this might be my AMAX, my main loadout. So all I have to do is select game pack 1, and then this, if I want to use the Grau that day, I'll put it on pro pack, or the slot 2 or slot 3 for the Car 98, FFAR, and the AUG. So that way you can just kind of switch between the pro packs depending on which classes you use. And the easiest way to do that, obviously, all you have to do is just click on the Zen itself, the right button. Alright? Alright guys, so we're back over to Warzone. I'm going to show you my settings for my Grau and the MP5. They haven't changed much.
1 minute remaining.
Basically, you've got the monolithic suppressor, 26.4 Archangel barrel, Commando foregrip, 60 round mags, and the tac laser for the Grau. And then for the MP5, I like the hip fire MP5. Some people prefer something different, and that's what I said. Like, you're gonna have to change that anti-recoil value just a little bit depending on what attachments you use. So I use the monolithic integral suppressor, Merc foregrip, 45 round mags,
30 seconds.
Collapsible stock, and the 5 milliwatt laser. And this is the best hip fire. This is what I like when you're pushing buildings and you're playing fast. Alright? Show you some gameplay. Check it out. Leave a like. Hit that subscribe button. I'm going to show you some clips of using these guns, and then we'll see you on the next one.